So, let me ask you something. How do your mornings feel? Are they calm and centered? Do it feels like a big rush out the door? If you're anything like me, mornings can set the tone for your entire day, for better or for worse. And when I say worse, I mean like chaotic, pull your hair type mornings where you feel like everything is off because you didn't take a moment for yourself. And I'll say to myself, I didn't take a moment for me. That's what we're diving into today. How to start your mornings on a bright note. Not something impossible, not like those impossible long routines, but something simple, something doable that actually makes a difference. Whether you're a morning person or you like to hit snooze every 10 minutes, this episode is for you. Again, everyone, welcome to Let's Talk, where we dive into all things spirituality, personal growth, and everything in between. I'm your host, Lex, and this is your safe space to explore, reflect, and grow. So, let's talk. As I get more cozier in this episode. Oh no, my books are falling. All right, let's get into it. Starting your mornings off right does not mean you need to create those perfect routines that you always see. And trust me, I've tried to make my mornings flawless. But life doesn't have to be that way. When I'm consistent and when I'm committed to my mornings, it does make a huge difference about how the day actually flows for myself. I'm going to just share what works for me, and maybe you'll find something that may work for you too. Remember, it is not about perfection. It's about finding something simple, something that's doable, and something that's going to work for you. I like to keep it simple, so this is my morning routine. I have to give a shout out to this app that I absolutely love, and it helps me to stay organized. It's called Routiner. No, this is not a sponsorship. I wish. Although, if you're listening, hit me up. Just kidding, kind of not. In all honesty, this app has helped me structure my morning, and it gives me step by step, which is super helpful, especially when you wake up and you're feeling all scattered brain. This will literally have a timer and tells you next and how long each thing will take. More of like, I need a time block kind of a thing. That app is for you. Now, part of my morning routine is these lovely two books right here. Those who know me personally knows that I've been reading this particular book for years. I actually use old checks as bookmarks. It reminds me that abundance is always coming to me. Trust Your Life, my girl, is the pivot year, but they helped me shift my mindset and approach the day with gratitude and attention. This girl has been a self-help book guru for years. All of you may know Heal Your Life, and she's really great with affirmations. So it's set by each day. I'll give a close-up, and it'll tell you a quote from one of her famous books and things like that. So that's pretty cool. I don't know if it's in scene. One is something that I read daily. Whether I read it in the morning, sometimes if I'm scatterbrained, I'll read it in the afternoon or in the evening time. I just take a time to read whatever message is for the day. This book is a game changer too. She has made plenty of great books. Oh my gosh, I cannot think of the name of that book right now. What's the name of that book? The Mountain is You. The Mountain is You. Oh my gosh. Classic, classic, classic. The Mountain is You. If you're on your healing journey, that is like top priority book of this time. But pivot year. Similar to Trust Your Life. However, with this one, it goes by actual days instead of the actual month and year. I mean, month and day. I'm sorry. So this is good. I just pulled up a random page and it says, what matters is that in the end, you can tell a story that you're proud of. That's the light to hold all of your decisions up to. When you're old and retelling the stories of your life, what will you say? If that does not make you reflect on like your whole life's purpose, I don't know what. So, great book, great way to start your morning. Okay, up next is breathwork and meditation. This is something I touched upon on episode 1 of Showing Up as Her. Breathwork and meditation has been a game changer for me. Even if it's just 5 minutes of intentional breathing or just sitting in stillness, silencing the mind as best as you can, of course, has made me feel grounded and connected. And it's like hitting the reset button from anything that transpired the day before, or just having a clear mind to dive in before the day. Last but certainly not least is this pretty little thing here. It's using the 5 minute journal. And this 5 minute journal is simple but yet so effective. So in the morning, I will write one affirmation, 3 things that I'm grateful for, and 3 things that would make today great. So the top section is white where you write that in, and then I will talk about the bottom in another episode about what to do in the evening. Practice doesn't take long, but it shifts your perspective and it helps me focus on what matters most. Again, I'm going to link all of this down below. They sell a lot of those at Target and Barnes and Noble too, just in case you like to shop there. All right, keeping it real. Here's one thing I have to say. I always don't hit every single part of my routine, and that's okay. Some mornings are more of a rush than others, and life happens. What I've learned is that consistency doesn't mean perfection. It's showing up for yourself. Maybe your morning routine is as simple as sipping coffee silently, or maybe it's playing your playlist, especially driving to work, whatever it might look like for you. The key to carving out the time in the morning just for yourself, whatever that might look like. And one last thing I want to emphasize is to keep it simple. The more complicated your routine looks, the harder it is to maintain it. So start with 1 or 2 things that feels good to you and let it grow naturally. When you create a routine that feels manageable, you're more likely to stick to it. So, my challenge for you lovelies this week is to think about your mornings. What's one small thing you could maybe start tomorrow to set the tone for your day? It could be any of the things I mentioned: journaling, reading, meditating, breath work, or 5 simple breaths before diving into your morning. Thank you so much for hanging out and getting cozy with me today. If you try out any of these ideas and want to share your own morning routine, links are down below. You can follow me on Instagram. And don't forget to check out the show notes for all the links of the books that I mentioned. Take care, and here's with my fake glass to starting your mornings with peace, intention, and maybe just a little joy. Let's continue growing together. Bye.